Am I the only person with the creepy Zoom background?
No,
There's been a couple
yeah,
people
creative. That's awesome.
in the hospital.
You guys have much nicer backgrounds. I feel like, I mean,
don't know.
honestly, a little creeped out here. I'm wondering, Finn, when someone new comes into the Ryan Murphy world, like John, is there like a ceremony? Is there how do you welcome them into this world?
They circumcise them.
I hope it's worth it.
Yeah, we have a hazing process that we take you through. It's very brutal. We can't talk about it.
We can't.
I do love the scene that you two are in Dr. Hanover's office. Finn, I'm not entirely convinced that you didn't actually want to kill John. So can you guys tell me something nice about one another that you learned while working together on this show? John, we can start with you.
You know, that scene was not supposed to be filmed that day. Something happened and they had to call Finn. And I was amazed that that scene was so difficult because a lot of text and there's a lot of things involved in it. And my God, Finn, he's a no, what's the word? He's a monster. He's a beast. He's a beast. That guy's a beast.
In the nice sense of the term.
In the nice, yes.
Oh, thank you. That was an epic scene. That was a fun dance, especially fun to do it prematurely. But I think it made it better.
Finn, you refer to it as a dance, but for those of us who are viewers, I mean, I watched this entire show in just 2 nights. More than a week ago, it has stayed with me. You have to go to some pretty dark places, I would imagine, to play your character. How long does it ultimately stay with you, or does it?
I think, living with this character for a bunch of months, you kind of learn how to step in and out of him relatively easily without so much collateral damage to your own well-being. It's definitely, it does take a toll. There is a lot of darkness related to like his childhood that was really, was tough to really delve into and keep remember all the time. But ultimately there were so many levels to him that I had more fun than hardship.
That is very good to hear. Things kind of could have been different for both of your characters if things had happened differently earlier in their lives. If things had been different in your lives, what do you imagine you would be doing right now other than acting? Finn?
Oh, it's like the only thing I'm good at, so it's hard to think about. But I don't know. I'd like to think that I'd be like a foreign correspondent for the New York Times, but I don't know if that would actually have worked out.
I can't think of anything. This is all I know. There was one time when things were going bad that I thought, okay, if I have to feed my family, I need to quit. And then I started crying and I went, no, I can't. If I quit, I'm gonna die. I'm really gonna die if I quit.
Is there another iconic character whose origin story you think would be interesting to explore?
John Briones.
I know, based on what you just told me, I think that there's a lot to explore there. Hi, Cynthia. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. It's nice to meet you, albeit virtually. Although I guess you're not actually seeing my house. You're seeing, they had us download this Zoom background.
Our mental hospital. Yes.
Yes. Even just this in my background is creeping me out a little bit. Do you have a particular favorite set that you got to work on for this show?
I have to say, I really love Dr. Hanover's office the best. Not only did it have his magnificent desk and his enormous table that you could have board meetings at, but a complete and elegant bar in one corner. I mean, that's the office that I want.
right? That's actually the home that I want. Although I will say that, you know, one of the great dichotomies for me of this series was that, or the juxtaposition, I suppose, of something beautiful, but what lies underneath or what you don't see is sort of the darker part of it. That's what I think is genius about it too. You can watch this series and it can just be crazy depravity or murder. And yet there are really serious issues underlining it about how mental illness used to be treated, what used to be considered mental illness. Is that what drew you to this?
I mean, certainly that, and being in the Ryan Murphy universe and working with all these amazing actors. We watched the film, my wife and I, who is from Bainbridge Island, by the way.
No way.
Yes, she totally is. And her
Oh
whole
my
family
gosh.
still lives there. Yes.
So do you want to say hi?
I want to say hi to all the Marinonis, absolutely, and the Saxes too. So yeah, so she and I watched it with our 17-year-old son, and he said, well, it's totally a film noir, but instead of being in black and white or with shadows, it's like in Technicolor. And he said, and actually, weirdly, that makes it even creepier.
Yeah.
And I think it's Ryan Murphy's way of saying, you know, we talk about that post-war era in America as this time of tremendous, you know, prosperity and opportunity and optimism, but actually for so many people in America, for so many people of color and who'd been part of the war effort, and women who had been given all these opportunities and were then had them unceremoniously snatched back. I think it was a really, really dark time, and I think that malevolence is just hiding right under this very, very cheerful, colorful surface.
Yeah, for sure. It took me a full 2 nights to watch the entire series. I'm curious, how quickly did you tear through the scripts, and do you get them all at once for a series like this?
I got a bunch right up at front at the beginning, but they were really writing it almost as we were doing it, and many changes were happening. So many of us, I won't say who dies and who doesn't, but there are at least 3 major characters that were totally supposed to die are in the last episode, healthy and hale. So yeah, so no, we were writing it, and they were actually adding characters kind of as we went. I mean, Sharon Stone was cast after I was, and I was like, what part is she going to play? Well, she's going to play this whole elaborate part that isn't even in it yet.
Which is so fun because then it's sort of unfolding for you in the same way that it unfolds for us as audiences at home in a way.
Yes, yes.
We don't have much time left, but I am curious, is there another iconic character whose origin story you would like to see told someday?
Oh my goodness. You know, I've been thinking about villains. So I was thinking about Mrs. Danvers from Rebecca. I mean, I also think it's, you know, she is definitely a villain, and there definitely has like lesbianic overtones. And I would like, in the same way we have a feminist queer recapture of Mildred Ratched, I would like to see a feminist recapture of Mrs. Danvers from Rebecca and see what was really up with her and Rebecca.